record on.
Buckle up, kiddies. We're ready for another exciting episode of Business Growth Time. Today, we're going to be talking about quizzes, assessments, and giveaways online with Josh Haynam of Interact. With me, as always, my good friend, long time pal, and lovely lady, marketer extraordinaire, Janet E. Johnson, where today the E stands for epitome. Which is funny because I like messing up the way people say the epitome, right? It's the epitome.
Oh, yes.
It's
Okay.
the epitome. You are the epitome of marketing prowess, especially in the Facebook world. How you doing?
Good. Epitome. Okay. Well, you're digging for these E's, aren't you? I know.
Dude, we've been doing this for a long time. You know how hard it is to come up with keywords on demand after episode like 92 or wherever we are?
Yeah, no, that's great. No, good. Well, I'm very excited to have Josh here today because I have been connected with him for a couple of years and had just listened to him on Lead Pages. So I'm really excited to have him. So let's get into that. But I want to introduce him properly. So I do have his bio here. Josh Haynam is the co-founder of Interact Quiz Builder, a tool used by more than 30,000 businesses, including the American Red Cross, Tony Robbins, and Forbes, and soon to be some of my clients. He's probably seen more quizzes than any other human on earth right now, and I believe you have. And welcome, Josh. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, I know Terry was inundated. It was pretty funny when we talked about quizzes, I have to say, because Terry was scared off by tests. So let's get Terry less scared of the whole quiz word.
Do I have to study for this? No. Right before the show, I was like, okay, quick, do some research. I'm a last minute kind of fellow. So
yeah, definitely no studying. We actually had to fight that perception for a long time because we've been around in the quiz space for a long time before it was all over the marketing news. And we always had to remind people it's not a test. It's not school. Don't freak out. It's literally just for fun. So yeah, these quizzes are literally like the ones that you see all over Facebook all the time anyways. I'm sure friends of yours post these things incessantly. And it's really funny, the people that take these. I run into the most random people that love quizzes. But the whole point is that you are able to make quizzes like that as a brand and share those out on Facebook and use those to actually build up an email list. So that's what we do.
Exactly. That's the goal, is that whole email list. But how did you get started in doing the quizzes? Because you said you did it before it was cool. So what made you decide to start this even?
Yeah. I mean, definitely before it was cool. Like 3.5 years ago when we first started doing this, you would talk to people about this concept and they're like, it always went back to school. They're like, wait, so it's a school quiz? And it was just, there was no concept of this. So how we actually got started in that was that me and my co-founder were actually web consultants. So we would go out and find clients, all sorts of random clients. We had like naturopathic doctors. We had, like sales consultants. We had, people that were like doing web design stuff. And we would build them websites. So from scratch. And this was actually before like the big rise of like Wix and Weebly and Squarespace. So this was actually back when like you would get somebody to come into your office, talk to you about your website, get something set up. And so that's what we would do. I would go out and do the consultations and then he would like build the websites. And we would build entire websites for people that they had, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 budgets for. But at the end of the day, all they actually cared about was growing their email list, which was super ironic because it's like you're so picky about all these little things, but then all you want is new email subscribers. And so somewhere in there, the concept of a quiz came up. I'm not sure exactly who first, proposed it, but we started building them into websites, like hard-coded. PHP, just mess code. It would take days to build one. And then we would put it on somebody's website and you couldn't change it. Like it was just there. But it had this email capture form in it. And then we would connect up the email capture form to their email list using like the API and all that good stuff. So that's what we did. And it worked really well. actually was the only thing that worked really well across like all of our clients. Other things that we were trying would work for one, not so much for another. Yeah, but the quizzes were working for everybody. And then we were actually still in college during all of this. So when we were in a class, we were presenting ideas and things like that and just kind of talking about what we were doing. It was an entrepreneurship class. And then the dean of the business school was there and proposed that we should turn our quiz idea into a whole business. And we had no idea how that worked. Like that was just a foreign concept. It was like, we knew about like applications where you could build content. We had no idea how you made a website where somebody could come and build content. Like that's how early we're in this. But then we did over our last year of school, slowly built out a mechanism with which you could build out a quiz. And then right towards the end of school, it started to get some traction. And then we just went for it. And that's kind of where it was born.
Wow. That's very interesting. That's cool though to see, so you did that right out of college. Now let me ask you, did you still graduate?
I did, yeah.
What a mom question. What a mom question.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely my mom asked me that many times. I did take a quarter off and my co-founder took a year off.
Oh, wow.
But we ended up finishing and I don't regret that at all. I think it's still good to have the degree.
Didn't I see that Zuckerberg just graduated in the last 2 weeks?
That's why it kind of came to my head. I'm like, did you actually, because he didn't, and look at him. So I guess, either
wasted time, Josh.
Shouldn't have done it.
That's good. So let's expand on this. So let's get into the product. I've seen it. I went through the website. I have, it's actually tryinteract.com. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yep.
That's the actual where you can even test quizzes and try it. So tell people that have never seen this before, kind of what they should do to see how it works. Cause I think it's really cool to test it out.
Yeah, definitely. And even though quizzes are in the mainstream a bit more now, it's still the first time that a lot of our clients are doing quizzes. I would say right now it's probably down to about 90%. It's their first time. 3 years ago it was 100%. So it's dropping, but very slowly. So our entire flow is set up for people that have never experienced this before. And basically the way it works is you come in, you make a totally free account. There's no catch to it. It's not a trial. It's actually free. Then you choose your website category. So if you're in marketing, you choose marketing. It shows you a list of quiz templates that are pre-optimized for conversion. And then you can actually sort them by conversion, just like how Lead Pages does it. And then you can select a template, grab it, it loads into the builder. And then we have like a walkthrough menu that helps you understand the elements you can modify on that quiz. So how it looks, the questions, the integration to your list, getting it shared out and put on your website, all that kind of stuff. So we kind of show you what you should be doing based on your industry. And we have lots of industries. We have like 35, 40 different industries. So you can select multiple industries too, if you're like not sure which one you should exactly fit into. So basically our entire website / onboarding flow is built to explain how this actually works for you specifically, because it's always a big question that we get. It's like, well, this is cool, but what would I do with it?
Will it work for me?
Exactly. I like the idea, but like, what do I do with that? So all of that's free. And then if you like what you have set up, then you can upgrade to start collecting emails and information from the people that are taking your quizzes. So that is what we built, and it's been a long evolution. And since we started like so granular, doing these one by one, we really understand what goes into a quiz and have tried to really break that down into a process that's just super simple to follow in terms of understanding how it works, and then also getting something built and put on your website at the same time. So you're learning and doing. So
let's talk about what these quizzes look like. So let's say for Janet's marketing company,
let's use your VR company. I'd be curious on that.
All
Let's
right.
try that. Let's
So,
try VR. Marketing,
Terry,
I've seen a bunch of them.
for Terry's virtual reality arcade company, which
Mhm.
could be for gaming or for family entertainment centers, right? So people that are looking to have fun are
Mhm.
my audience, and people that run establishments that are for out-of-home entertainment, bowling alleys, movie theaters, again, family entertainment centers, the Dave and Buster's of the world, what
Mhm.
have you. Those are my customers. Those are the places that I want to put this stuff in.
Mhm.
What would a quiz potentially look like, and how would that engage them, and why would they care?
Yeah, exactly. So let's start with why they care. And that's actually the last one, but it's the most important one.
Sure,
And
sure.
the reason why people care on quizzes is because it lets people express themselves online through a piece of marketing content. So if you think about like other marketing forms, they're usually broadcast mediums where
Mhm.
you're sending out a message to the world, and it's a valuable message, but you're just receiving it. However, people really like to talk about themselves. There's all sorts of studies. The most prominent one is from Time magazine, where they basically found out that 40% of the words that we say in our lives are about ourselves. And it actually makes you feel good when you talk about yourself. There's certain pheromones that are released in your brain when you're talking about yourself that literally make you feel good. So we love doing that, and that's why people care about quizzes, is because you're getting to answer questions that are personal to you, and a well-written quiz will make you feel like you are answering personal questions. Even though it is scripted, it's still going to feel real to you. It's going to feel like something, somebody cares about your opinions, things like that. So that's why people will care. In terms of how to set that up, basically you want to start with a very simple title template, which is which blank are you, or what blank are you, something like that. So with virtual reality, if you're targeting this towards the businesses that may make a purchase, then you would say, what's the best virtual reality experience for your business? And then you would let them answer specific questions about kind of the environment that they have created. And then at the end, you'd recommend, a certain virtual reality experience for them to display. So then you're taking advantage of, getting to express yourself, and then also showing a specific result. Then you can tie into, selling, to that business. So that's what we would recommend for that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And are they normally are there a set number of questions that work better than others? Is there too long a quiz, too short of a quiz? What does some of that specifics look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So the specific number of questions that you want to have is 7. So
So there's an answer. Okay.
yeah, 7
Oh, that's
questions.
good to know. Really, 7. Is that like been tested or something, or
Oh
how?
yeah,
Okay, so
And we,
7 is not 3, not 4, but it should be 7.
It's
yeah,
3 and 4.
That's
7.
really good to know.
there you
3
go.
and 4.
Okay. School again.
Yeah, exactly. You passed the test. It's
Yeah.
funny.
I never
Yeah.
studied, but I always pass.
No, yeah, we literally downloaded a database of the completion rates for all of the quizzes in our platform, which is like over 30,000 now. It's like 35 something.
Wow.
And we looked at the completion rates and then ran a regression against the number of questions, and 7 had the highest completion. So it
Interesting.
takes, and then we also have timestamps on those. So it takes about 2 minutes for somebody to finish 7 questions, which is the perfect time span where they get into it enough that it feels real, but it's not so long that they get bored. So that's what you want to do there.
Say the same thing with video marketing, right? The video has to be
Yeah.
2 minutes or less. So
Exactly.
it's very, very interesting that
Yeah.
came up again.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
How do they convert to then the email list? So
Mhm.
they do the quiz, then what's the next phase?
Yeah. So the flow of it is like you'll start the quiz, you'll answer the questions, 7 questions. Once those questions are done, a form comes up and says, enter your email to see your results, and we will send you, advice on how to set up your specific virtual reality experience. And then you enter your email, click see my results, and then it takes you through immediately to your results. And then most of the time, people leave a skip this step option on that email capture form. just because, a quiz out on social media, you don't want to force people to opt in if they're not interested. But you're able to put that form between the questions and the results and then make it relevant to the actual topic of the quiz.
My next question, I have so many, but next question is then what are the best ways, because I'm in marketing, obviously I'm always thinking, okay, Facebook ads, that would work great. Mm-hmm. What are other things that you've seen? Obviously, if you get a lot of traffic to your website, that makes sense, to have it on your website too. But what are other methods people have used to get people aware of these quizzes?
Yeah. So I can probably stack rank them in terms of what works best. Facebook is number one for sure, both organic and advertising. We've seen some crazy conversion rates on advertising, leads coming in at 12 cents a piece. And it's that's absurd.
Wow. That is absurd.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So Facebook's number one. And then number two is on the website. So a lot of times people will do kind of what we like to call a website takeover, where you'll put a banner across the top, and then also a link in the sidebar, and then links throughout your site to the quiz, make it your main lead magnet. And we've had people double their opt-ins overnight just by doing that, because a quiz just is so much more appealing than a lead capture form or even a download usually. So that's number two. And then number three is Twitter. So, even though they have struggles right now, they are still relevant. And there are quizzes that just absolutely blow up on Twitter. Number four is Pinterest. Interestingly, there's actually,
I'm a huge Pinterest fan.
It's really cool. Pinterest there's a lot of power in Pinterest.
Yes, I agree.
It's a lot. And
cool, that's good to know.
Yep. So those are really the top four. And then there's just a smattering of other mechanisms beyond that.
Sure.
Google ads, things like that. But those are really the ones where people have seen a lot of success.
Okay.
I want to step back and go back in the process a little bit. Are you working with the customer to create the quiz, or have you created an engine where the customer just creates their own quiz and it's kind of hands off?
Yeah, so it's an engine that we work really hard to make easy to use, but we do understand that this is still a new thing. So we actually have customer success folks who connect with all of our users that sign up and offer to do a consultation, which is just part of using our product, whether you're free or paid. And those consultations are usually half an hour, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, just talking through strategy behind setting up a quiz. And then for our paid clients, we also have folks that can help out with the actual creation of the quiz. So we can pull in all of our best practices. And we've done so many of these, and early on we would do them one by one, obviously. So we've seen a lot, and we pour all of that into those. So we have those two mechanisms where we connect with you personally if you're interested, and then also if you are on one of our subscriptions, we actually can help you build out an entire quiz.
So to that answer then, anybody listening to this podcast, you already mentioned they can go create a free account and it's totally free. But not only do they have an account, they can actually go create quizzes, share it on Facebook, or if they want the fourth place strategy, they can share it on Janet's favorite Pinterest. They can do that right now.
Oh yeah, right now. And you can literally have it done in 10 minutes. It's incredibly quick.
7 questions, people. Don't screw around. Do 7 questions. Learn something today. Awesome, man. That's really cool. So I might go play around with that.
I think you need to, Terry. I know. I need to too. I know. I think you should though for the VR. It makes sense for that type of thing if you can really make it fun and engaging, and then drive the leads in. And Terry will. He'll double his email subscriptions overnight because you probably know that many.
It's very funny. It's very funny.
I always have to throw some sort of crap at Terry. Sorry.
Yep. Gotta do it.
That's good. Let's explain your levels of payment, because I think this is important because you have the free version, but when I saw the cost, I was like, this is an absolute no-brainer for anyone. So let's get into that side of things.
Yeah, it's quite cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, most of our small business owners, small to medium size, are just using our light plan, which is $29 a month, or it drops down to $19 if you're paying annually. So that covers everything you need in terms of capturing email addresses, connecting to all of the basic email marketing programs, so like Aweber, MailChimp, ConvertKit, Drip, ActiveCampaign, most of those guys. And then we also have Zapier if you're using something that's a little more obscure. So all of that's included. You can create as many quizzes as you want and launch them out on your site, embed, all that kind of good stuff. So really you can get by with that. It does have a small like powered by Interact thing on it, like like a lot of the companies are doing now. You can remove that if you bump up to our growth plan, which is $89 a month. So usually like larger organizations that have really strict branding guidelines will go for that. But yeah, realistically you can go $29 a month, and that is fully month to month. So it's not a lot of commitment to jump in there.
No, that makes sense. Cool. Well, I'm trying to think of any other questions. Anything else you have, Terry?
Yeah, sure. So like, what does it look like when a quiz goes viral? How many people are taking it and messing around with it?
Oh gosh, we've seen some crazy stuff. Probably the biggest one that comes to mind in terms of like a quiz going viral was from Red Lobster. And they did what kind of shrimp are you quiz? And
funny.
The thing blew up. 192,000 likes on Facebook. It is their most liked Facebook post in the entirety of the company's history. So they jumped on Facebook, shortly after it launched. That is still their most liked post of all time.
Awesome. And Josh, what kind of shrimp are you?
I was the garlic, which I did not mind.
Okay.
I actually like that one. So
all right. Good to know.
It was quite good. That's good. So that's the craziest one. But yeah, I mean, we've seen brands, and I can't mention them all by name, but because of privacy stuff. But we've seen quizzes do 1 million hits in a day, like 1 million views, like 30,000-40,000 concurrent people taking one quiz. It's crazy. Like the amount of reach. We did one. There was one for Brexit that actually the government of the United Kingdom put up through our platform, and it had like 200-something thousand takers, which is actually a significant portion of the population. If you think about, the population of the United Kingdom is not that huge. It's like a couple of percentage points. So just like some crazy reach in terms of what these things can do.
All right, man, that's really, really cool. Now I got to figure out what kind of quiz is right for what we're doing.
Exactly.
Well, and I see that there's the one thing I did when I was digging into it, and I could have just kept going, like, when you get into Pinterest and you keep going and going. It's kind of like that. I noticed that you have ones that you can have the answers show pictures. Or not. I mean, do you have any stats on that? If adding those pictures makes a difference, or how the setup, if there's better ways with that? Because I know you offer both options, but yeah. So typically we do recommend the format being like just a text question, so just a plain text question, and then each answer choice has an image associated with it. And we actually did a study, and all of the top 100 quizzes by traffic volume have at least one question that's in that format, which is pretty statistically significant. So that is what we recommend. And it's just a more visual flow. Yeah.
I mean, you're clicking on pictures as answer choices. I mean, we can process images. I think the studies are like at least twice as fast as text. So when you're scrolling through something and you're answering questions that are images, it's just a more fun experience.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Janet, your quiz is already figured out, man. What kind of diamond cut are you?
Oh, there you go. Or what kind of pearl are you?
Are you a princess cut? Are you a round cut? Perfect. Oh, man. I like it.
Oh, we can have fun with this. Yeah, definitely. Cool. Do you work with any jewelry? Do you have any jewelry at this point that you're using it? Because that's kind of my niche.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of a brand offhand, but I've seen
Sure.
quite a few quizzes in the jewelry space. One that I'm always a little wary about is people keep doing this "What's your engagement ring?" style quiz, and I just imagine there's a bunch of dudes that are like taking that and they're just using it as their recommendation. I'm just like slightly uncomfortable about recommending what kind of engagement ring people should get. Uh,
Ew, this is ugly. But the quiz
yeah,
said
well,
you
yeah, I
were a
took a
box
quiz.
cut.
Oh no, I took a quiz. Yeah, exactly.
Foolproof. Yeah, so those things get tons of hits. It's crazy, like hundreds of thousands. So I'm just worried about that.
The Facebook, speaking of that, all these people taking on Facebook, is this different than the ones that we do that people are so worried about in their apps, or do you get into the app also? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, do you give a bunch of permit? Do I have to give you permission to be my
Yeah.
Facebook?
Oh, no. So we don't pull Facebook information. So you share it as a post on Facebook, but you're not signing in with Facebook or anything like
Got
that.
it.
The only way that we collect information is if you give the information. So if you give your email address, then we get your email address. But
Got it.
that's it. We're not polling other stuff.
So you actually have to go to the website is it a link and then you go to the website to take the test? Or
Yeah.
quiz, sorry,
Yeah.
quiz.
So you make a Facebook post with the image and the title of the quiz, and then when you click on that, it'll open up your website. So people come
Got
back
it.
to your domain, and then it's embedded onto your site with an iframe, just like you'd embed a video.
Okay. So different than some of those quizzes then that
Yeah.
actually go in.
Those
Okay.
can be a little shady, so we
Exactly.
steer very clear of that.
Okay. I think that's important for people to know. Yeah. Because I think, yeah, it's definitely, and I've done some of those, but then I go into my apps and I delete them. Make sure I disconnect it and, because I'm smart about it, but think of all the people that don't have a
Exactly.
clue.
Yeah.
But
Yep. So
okay.
We talked about quizzes a lot, but what about like giveaways and assessments that I see on your site as well? What is that?
Yeah. So I mean, we have giveaways as another tool, because obviously a lot of people that are in marketing are going to be doing both. So giveaways are much simpler, but they actually have a really strong social reach. So a giveaway, when you set it up, it's basically like we're giving away a free business toolkit with training and courses and things like that. And you can enter with your email, and then you can get additional entries by sharing the actual giveaway onto other social networks, so Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest. So you're able to kind of make the giveaway viral by letting people share to enter. And that works super well. And it's way quicker to set up than a quiz. I mean, we have the templates for quizzes, but there's still, you have to mess with those. Whereas a giveaway, it's literally like, this is what I'm giving away. Here's the terms, set up, the entry options, and then launch it. So we've seen those things get set up in just a few minutes, really, really quickly. And it's just a nice companion app. And then assessments are a little bit closer to school. They're like multiple choice quizzes where you actually have a correct answer for the questions, but those are cool for, different types of entertainment sites and things like that, where it's like, how much do you know about Ellen, for example? And you're able to answer the questions, and it gives you immediate feedback in terms of, which ones you got right, which ones you got wrong, stuff like that. So it's a little bit different, but it's still kind of the same vein of, getting to answer personal questions.
Cool. Very,
Yeah.
very cool. Which quizzes came first and then giveaways, then assessments? Is that how the company kind of developed over time?
Exactly. Yeah. So, we just kind of looked at what people were doing, outside of quizzes. Obviously, we work with a lot of marketers. So talking with them, it's like, all right, what other kind of campaigns are you running? Because, we have a platform that once you learn it, it's really simple to use. So we were just thinking about what else can we add in there where you don't have to learn a whole new platform to go do a giveaway. You can just use it on the same platform. And then also all the analytics are in the same place. You can see everything and download reports and all that kind of stuff. So, we're just thinking through what kind of apps can we add, and we're about to launch a polling tool as well. I think that comes out next week.
Oh,
so
cool. Mm-hmm.
then we'll have, a variety of tools you can use, all in the same vein of growing your email list, getting more social interaction, things like that. But you don't have to keep learning a new platform every time you want to do a new campaign.
And that will be out by the time Ernie hears this, because
we're a few
that's how
weeks
that
out.
rolls, right? Wow, that's
Perfect.
very, very cool. So one, from an entrepreneurial standpoint, you guys were in college when this started. You made that clear. Kudos.
Yep.
That's really cool. How was the growth? Did you take on funding at some point? How did you go from, hey, we made a couple of quizzes while we were in a dorm room, to now we've done over 35,000 quizzes and other things as well?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been pretty crazy. We never took on funding. It's been bootstrapped the entire way, and you know, I think that was very fortuitous because we're in a market that is still developing, and when you try to force something into a market that's still developing, you can waste a lot of money trying to get people to adopt a strategy that they're just not ready for yet. And we've been able to build our software and make it, you know, extremely easy to use as we're growing, so that as the market comes along, we're ready for it and we're able to, you know, bring on the big clients and things like that. I think we got pretty lucky with timing though, because, you know, quizzes have started to come on the scene. And when we started initially, there was no clear indication of whether that was going to happen or whether that was going to continue either. And so we just kind of got on the right track there. So that's really what happened, is we launched this because we knew it worked. We didn't know if the market was going to come around and adopt it as a mainstream strategy, and now it is. So we got lucky in that sense. But yeah, it was just kind of a grinded out type of mentality for the first few years, building it up, making it the best product possible, and then, you know, just staying very, very in tune with the market and marketers. You know, I have conversations with marketers multiple times a day, just kind of, you know, staying in touch with what's going on and making sure that we're building the right tools and the right products for them and delivering it in the right way as well. So that's kind of how we came along.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering that. That's good stuff. And that's, you know, it's good for the audience to hear too.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. No, it's definitely, being a marketer. I do giveaways all the time. I do build email lists all the time. I already know, now that you said the giveaway, I'm like, okay, that client's going to be using giveaways too. So we use WooBox for one of my clients. Is it similar to that?
Yeah, in terms of the giveaways, I would say it's somewhat similar.
Could be used instead of, or
yeah, we've kind of adopted some new technologies that are making things faster. So I think that helps, especially with a lot of people entering through mobile devices and on slower connections. We've really tried to optimize everything that we build, both on the quizzes and the giveaways, just because so many people are coming on through smartphones.
mobile.
Yeah, sometimes not on great, like, you know, 3G LTE connections. It's just not super fast. So I'd say that's one advantage that we have, because we've been able to kind of develop over a few years that we've kind of put in place.
That's smart. Yeah, smart with the smartphones. There you go.
Yep. There you go.
Just had to throw that in. Well, awesome. Well, okay, let's finish up with, tell us where they can go test this out again, and where they can find you to connect with you also.
Yeah, definitely. So the site is tryinteract.com. So tryinteract.com. Yeah, like I said, you can set up a free account, grab a template, play with it, see how it works. And like you said, it educates you while you're building your first quiz, which is really great. So you can kind of understand how this whole concept comes together and simultaneously actually launch something, which is really, really cool. You can reach out to me. Usually I'm on Twitter, so I'm at Haynam, and happy to engage there and kind of have a conversation and continue what we've been talking about here.
Awesome.
Haynam, Haynam.
Got it.
So just in case. Hey, I don't think we can ask Josh what his favorite 80s song is, because I'm sure that I'm guessing that
everybody
he would
has
have
an 80s song.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a fair question.
I gotta throw in there before we end too. Has anybody ever told you look like Justin Timberlake?
Oh gosh, like literally all the time. Like I've been like, sometimes I like to work at coffee shops just to get out of the office. And I will literally have people come up to me out of the blue and be like, "Hey, has anybody ever told you look like Justin Timberlake?" Like, yes. And like, I play basketball out on like at a park in the streets, and they don't even know my name. They just call me JT. So it's,
I just knew it. I knew it. Well, I'm a boy band fan, so.
Yeah, so that's high praise. I don't
Yeah,
know
there you
if
go.
that was a total compliment.
That's how I stay young. That's good. Awesome. Well, and but even though I'm going to the Backstreet Boys this year, sorry. Well, awesome. Well, thank you. I'm looking forward to trying this out. I know Terry and I both will be, and I'm sure there will be a lot more people through you being here. So I appreciate that. And then if you guys want the Ernies, we call our audience Ernie sometimes for an E. I don't know where we started that, but the Ernie, Terry, it all comes from Terry, the crazy stuff.
It's all my fault.
So Ernie, if you want to see past podcast episodes, you can go to businessgrowthtime.com/podcast. We have many shows previous to this too, all about marketing that will help you and learning to grow your business. And also we do have a Facebook group also. Josh, we'd love if you join that too. It's just businessgrowthtime.xyz, and you can find it on Facebook. Thank you so much for your time, Josh. We appreciate you being here.
Good stuff.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.